Good morning, everyone, and welcome to what is already the second day of the World Circular Economy Forum plus Climate. You are joining us once again at another session of CirculariTV. Now, during this session, we will look back on what happened exactly yesterday on that first day, and we will also look forward as to what is awaiting us today. And to do this with me, I am once again joined by an incredible lineup of speakers, starting with the one sitting here at the table with me, Roald, Lapperre. You are our Dutch Vice Minister for the Environment and International Affairs. So glad to have you here with us.
Great to be here again.
Yes, and Mrs. Kitty van der Heijden, who is our Dutch Vice Minister for International Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Glad to have you here with us as well.
Thanks, Adjar.
Yes, and for this session, we will be joined as well by the young people from the We Are Tomorrow Global Partnerships. You can see them in the background. I'll do a short wave to them. Good to see you guys. They will be in this session later on to discuss the link between climate mitigation and a circular economy, and especially their visions on that. Moreover, we also have our trusted visual artist in the studio with us. Femke van Voorthuis, you're already sitting up and ready at your own art table. And as you all know, maybe from the sessions yesterday, Femke will be drawing our key messages and ideas, everything that is being discussed over here at CirculariTV in her own drawing. And we can actually already see a sneak peek behind me of what the drawings that Femke has made yesterday. Nice to know is that at the end, at the final session today of CirculariTV, we will see the final results, so do stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for being here as well, Femke. Now, please do join in on the conversation as well via social media. You can do so by using the following hashtags, hashtag #WCEF+Climate, hashtag CirculariTV, or hashtag #KeepCE Drumbeat And also make sure to tag us in all your tweets via @WCEF+Climate. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at the tweets that we have collected of the sessions that took place yesterday to get a bit of a glimpse of what has happened there. Because for the very first tweet, we see a tweet by Citra, by Marie Pansar, about the importance of the role of circular businesses. Then we have another tweet from the International Resource Panel about the effects of material extractions, definitely important when it comes to speaking about circularity. And I have another tweet that I want to dive a bit deeper in. I'll read it out for you, because Mr. Lapperre, I would like to see what your highlights were of yesterday, but especially maybe also what you think of this tweet. It's by Jyrki Katainen, the president, the director of Citra, and he says, if you look at the three major challenges, there is one that underpins them all, and that is the circular economy. It's as simple as that. Do you agree?
Absolutely, yes. And I mean, he's the co-host of the conference, of course.
Yeah.
I think he strikes it very well here. The three challenges, I mentioned them also yesterday: combating climate change, preventing pollution, and of course, preventing biodiversity loss. I think those three are all underpinned by one issue.
Yeah.
This whole issue, of course, of circular economy can underpin them all. I think he's very right in saying that.
Yeah, clear indeed. And it's, as you said, they're all linked together in that way as well. We have another tweet as well by Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. I would like to show it to you, Mrs. van der Heijden, because she says we need a far greater concerted effort to build a circular economy and put us on track to achieve the 2030 agenda. Plastics, food system, textiles, and other industries, we're calling on you to design in a circular fashion. We need all your help. What do you think?
Well, I think this puts it very eloquently, and I think, as Roald also said, the circular economy basically touches on all the SDGs. That's why that session yesterday was so enlightening, because it's not just about climate, it's not just about sustainable consumption and production, it's not just about, you know, the livable planet, oceans and biodiversity. It is equally about equity, it's about gender, it's about health and well-being of people, and to deliver the promise that we have put embedded in the SDGs, the perspective of a life in dignity for all. And circular economy is an essential part of achieving just that.
Yeah. clear, and it's interesting to see similarity in what you're saying, that it's all so interlinked with each other, and that's why it's important to focus on it. Thank you so much for that, and nice to hear about those highlights and see them. Now, as I mentioned before, after this session, we will have the official opening at the main studio with the Connecting Future Generations, where young people from all over the world will share their visions. And to get us a bit started and warmed up for that, we have with us the 11 young people from the We Are Tomorrow Global Partnerships. Hi everyone, once again, I will quickly introduce you, and maybe if you hear your name being called out, you can do a little wave to the camera so that we'll know who is in the chat with us. First off, I will start with the person that we have from Chile, Isabella, in the chat with us. Good to see you. We have from India, we have Tanisha, also very nice to have you here with us. And we have from the Netherlands, Cerise, Jan, Laura, Merel, Nikki, Roman, and Zoe. Very nice to have you joining with us as well. From Uganda, we have Pius, and from South Africa, we have Sibu Siso. Very nice to have you all in this session with us. And as I've heard some rumors that Pius from Uganda has a question to you, Mrs. van der Heijden. So looking at you, Pius, please do take the floor away and go ahead and ask your question.
All right, thank you so much. Some developing countries are very rich in lithium, nickel, and other rare metals, which are very crucial to the digitalization of the economy and to the production of renewable energy materials. Given that the developed world has an increase of demand for renewable energy, the pressure over the exploitation of those materials will increase in the developing countries. How can we assure that this increase of exploitation of this type of materials, given the increase of demand in the developed world, can be fair and less pollutant for the developing countries like mine here in Uganda? Thank you.
Yes, Mrs. van der Heijden, would you like to?
Thank you, Piers. This is an incredibly important question, and thank you for asking this, because this will be one of the big challenges that we face. And up front, I need to be honest, we are only scratching the surface, right? I don't think it is just the demand from developed countries. It's going to be a global demand as we all make that transition to a circular economy. How do we make sure that as we secure sort of the rare earth materials and these extracting these minerals from the ground, that we combine that with safety and security, with decent work standards, with social and environmental conditions, and with improving human rights? And how do we also make sure that the benefits, the economic benefits, also are localized for local communities, because otherwise it is all exported? This is something that is a deep concern for the Netherlands. I will be honest, I think globally we're scratching the surface, as I said, but we're starting that debate. So for example, the Netherlands, we have started with the World Bank a program that's called Climate Smart Mining, really looking at how do we extract minerals, and also how do we make sure that benefits are localized. Equally, one of my big concerns is how we go about with decent work conditions and human rights, in particular for women and girls that often tend to work the mines. So we've set up a working group with governments and CSOs, basically to develop standards. What are the right standards? How do we compare them with best practices? And so with CSO and government, we're working together to do that. There's a lot more to be done, and it's an incredibly important point that you raised, Piers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Piers, for your question, and also Mrs. van der Heijden for elaborating on that indeed. I'm curious, is there somebody from the We Are Tomorrow Global Partnership that would like to respond to the answer that Mrs. van der Heijden just gave? Please raise your hand if you do want to do so, then I will see and pick somebody out. Or are you saying this is an extremely clear answer? You answered everything I needed to know. Okay, clear. Then we can go on to Roman from the Netherlands, because Roman, I've heard some other rumors about you as well, that you have a question for Mr. Lapperre. So please do take it away as well.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I was wondering, this is definitely a question of the future and about the future. And I think a lot of young people especially want to do something about it, but maybe don't know how. So how can the youth make a significant impact in the drive towards a circular economy? What can they do?
Yeah.
Excellent question. And before answering it, I would like to thank everyone for joining us on the screen from their homes, and especially the lady from Chile. you must be in the middle of the night. So thank you for joining us.
Indeed, quite some
in
dedication.
the very early hours of the day for you. You know, I think 2 years ago in the Netherlands, the late Kofi Annan visited us and joined us for a meeting, and he said, "You are never too young to lead and never too old to learn." So that's just as a stimulus, I think, for you. It inspired me, but I hope it inspires you as well, because I think it is important for youth to lead, to show us what we can do and how we should do it. But in addition to this, I would say, demand a place at the table. You should have a place at the table, both in designing policies as well as in decision making. And what we are exactly doing right now, for example, by in the architecture of our future circular economy policies, is that we have youth representation at the table at every stage of decision making.
Okay.
And I think that could be a way of doing it, but of course it all starts with letting your voice be heard with us, with governments, but also in broader society, and lead by example. I think that's also part of it.
Yeah, very interesting. And indeed, I think it's also for a part about having that exchange of views. And because of that, I was curious, maybe Mrs. van der Heijden or Mr. Lapperre, do you perhaps have a question for one of the youngsters with us in the chat, something that you would like to learn from them, or have their vision on that you'd like to ask?
Well, I would, as I said, the views on our circular economy plans are welcome every step of the way.
Yeah.
So please join in on that one. I would. That's an invitation.
Yeah.
But I would also like to invite you to confront us with anything you see that we should be doing and are not doing yet.
Okay.
So it's not just asking to react on what we put on the table, because maybe we're putting the wrong things on the table, or we're not putting anything on the table which you should bring to the table. So it's also an invitation to bring the unknown to us.
Okay, the unknown. I like the way that you said that, indeed, and I do fully agree that it is important that we make sure that that there's some accountability knocking on the door, to say it like that. So maybe before we go on to the next segment, I want to thank all the young people from the We Are Tomorrow Global Partnership for joining us. And if you do have any reaction in the rest of the session, do please raise your hand, and then I will give the word to you if you want to add anything else to this conversation. Yeah. Oh, I see Zoe. Oh, yeah. Please do go ahead, Zoe.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for your reactions, and with regards to asking for that seat at the table. I think in the Netherlands we're doing better and better in the past years, and I think it really differs per country if the leaders of that country are willing to do so as well. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to ask if you have any connections in other countries as well, which I'm assuming you do. Please also do push for that for us, because we have an amazing group of people in 11 different countries, and they have so many views and so many opinions that I really want them to be heard in other countries as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zoe. And Mrs. van der Heijden, how can we push other countries to include more young people if they don't already?
I think we do that in two ways. One is by showing the right example, and you know that as well as any other, that we are very keen to involve Dutch youth in Dutch policy making. But it's equally important to make sure that we allow the voices from young people in developing countries to be heard. That's where it's often very difficult. So in our case, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, what we have done, we have a special ambassador for youth education and work, because it is really the connection, how education prepares you for tomorrow's future that needs to be green and inclusive. As part of that, we have set up a global advisory committee to me and to my minister to make sure that we are infused with the thinking, not of Dutch youth perspectives, yes, also, but particularly from countries where we work, from Sudan, from Chad, from Mali. Very different cultural, social, political context than ours, but my thinking, my work, our work needs to be effective for them, for their future. And so we're really trying to make sure that we are infused with their thoughts and their ambitions, and our programming should serve them.
Yeah, yeah, I love how you said that. I mean, I've been a youth representative for the Netherlands for 2 years, and it's definitely true that there is a very big underrepresentation of young people from the global south and other regions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you for that answer. And Zoe, thank you once again so much for that question. Now, we are also nearing the end of this session, but I am really curious, though, what you are looking forward to, Mr. Lapperre and Mrs. van der Heijden. So maybe, Mr. Lapperre, I can start with you. What are you most looking forward to on this second day?
Well, I got very motivated and energized about yesterday. So I hope to continue that today, and I'm pretty sure we will, because the energy is there, the vibe is there. I think the Connecting Future Generation session you just referred to is, of course, well, main on the menu today, and great as a follow-up for this. And at the global closing session, of course, we will present the action statement, because it won't be finished after today. We need to get on with it, and the action should be there as well.
Yeah, indeed, nicely said. It's important what happens afterwards that brings us forward. And Mrs. van der Heijden, what are you looking forward to?
Look, like Roald, like all of us, another day full of energy. I hope it's renewable energy.
Yeah,
because we're going to need this energy for the next 5 to 10 years to get it done.
Yeah.
We need to walk the talk, and at the end of the day, when we present the action statements, we're going to rely on you guys here on the screen to keep everybody that's in a position like myself and Roald, to keep us accountable across the world, to walk that path, to walk the talk, to get it done.
Yeah.
We have platforms galore. Now what we need is more action. So let's get it done.
Yeah. Oh, I love how you said that. We don't just need energy, good energy. We need renewable, good energy. I think that's a nice note to end on in this session. Mrs. van der Heijden, Mrs. Lapperre, thank you once again for joining us. And of course, to everyone, all the young people from the We Are Tomorrow Global Partnership, thank you as well. Now, you mentioned it, the session about connecting future generations. It is going to start. I'm going to wave you all goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. It will start after this session at the main studio, where my colleague Ikena Azuike will talk with many young people from all over the world to hear their visions when it comes to CE and climate mitigation. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in for this session of CirculariTV. Make sure to join us again at the other sessions today, and then we hope to see you there.